everybody. I am Kallie Ross, and I am here with hashtag Dynamis. This is our first Google Hangout, and we still are all calling ourselves by different names. Not because Dynamis is not the same thing as Dynamis, but it depends on what part of the country you're from, because tonight we are represented by 5 authors, including myself, and we are from all over the place, and now I'm going to tell you about them, and they're also going to tell you about themselves. First, I want to introduce Jamie Magee, and she's going to tell us, as well as everyone else, what is your favorite character you've ever written?
Oh, man, I think my very favorite one, and it's because she's so recent and current, and like she's in my life every day because she's part of my serial, is Rebecca Beauregard. Just because she's that kind of woman that she's strong, but she knows when she needs to be weak. She's able to break when she needs to break, so she kind of bends, but she's not somebody I want to cross. I love her dynamic, and I love how she stretched me and made me like write what I wasn't comfortable with writing. So then I became comfortable with it.
Very cool. All right, so now we have Brenda Pandos. I want to know who you like to write.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Who do you like to write? What character do you write that's your favorite character to write?
Right now, I'm actually working on the 4th book of my Mermaid series, and so I'm really loving being back in that world again. And so it's not just one person, but it's a couple, and I love Ash and Finn. And this is just so if you don't know what that Everblue is, my first book of the series, and they're just so cute together, and they're planning a wedding, and it's just been a lot of fun to write about them.
You just ruined the whole series for me.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Sorry.
No, spoiler alert. We'll have to put that on there.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I think it's funny, not in a bad way. Okay, next we have Morgan Wylie. Morgan Wylie, who is your favorite character that you write? Because I'm really, really curious.
Okay, well, right now I'm working on a new project. So right now that's my favorite character, and that is, her name is Gracie, and she's an oracle. But none of you will know that because it's not out yet. So in my series that's out, it's a YA fantasy called The Age of Elandria. My favorite character to write in that is Hallister. Kallie likes Hallister.
I do like Hal so much.
He's just fun, lighthearted, playful. He's just got a good personality, but he's also loyal and fierce warrior. He's a fairy warrior. So.
Yeah, and he makes you laugh. That's always a good thing. Okay, and last but not least, we have Lila Felix sitting over there, and she is going to tell me who her favorite character is to write.
My favorite character to write, or the one that I've written?
Either one. I mean, it's one you can be working on now, or it can be one that you've written that you just absolutely adore and always go back to.
I don't necessarily adore her, but Asa from Spares for Free is closest to me. And I didn't even know that until I'd finished it, which was pretty scary to go back and read it and realize exactly how much she was like me. And it kind of makes you face some things that you didn't even know you had to face. So.
That's cool. Well, I would say that in my series, or in my experience, just the character that somebody would know reading what I've written, I have a character named Jesse, and he's a little brother. And he's a teenage little brother, and I never thought I would love writing a guy character as much as I love writing him, because he's a smart aleck, and sometimes I think I should have been a little sister, but I'm a big sister, so I have to be all responsible and everything, so I just write really cool little siblings. Okay, so now we're all together. There are actually 10 of us in this group all together, but we're introducing everyone slowly but surely, and I wanted to kind of go to Jamie first and ask her what Dynamis is all about, or Dynamis, because I know all of us are playing with this, and I really want to know how you came up with the idea. I also want everyone to know that while you're listening and while we're talking to each other, if you have questions for us tonight, you can win a bunch of different gift cards. We're all giving away a $5 gift card to the winner's choice of wherever, whether it be Amazon or whatnot. So hashtag Dynamis and send it in, tweet it, Google Hangout it, and we'll answer your questions too. So Jamie, go. Where did this all come from?
Hey, this is great. It's really fun and elaborate, but I'm not creative today. But okay, so writing is a pretty, you would think that it's a solitary career, but it's not really, because there's so many different dynamics that you have to pull into it. You, even without just the craft itself, like you know, you need a writing buddy and the editors and the graphic designers and the bloggers and the readers. It's a huge thing, and it's like, it can be really scary, it can be really lonely. But what's really great about it is when you find someone who's like on the same wavelength as you, and they're kind of like pulling from that same great fun space of just like taking nothing and creating something and waking up every day excited about that. So Dynamis came from the point where we kind of just pulled people together that worked well together and loved the craft and were excited about the craft and were eager to like kind of break into new ways to reach other readers and expand the story and like have fun. And we wanted it to be more than just about us. We wanted to find a way to like really connect with our readers and, I don't know, just kind of bring them into our world and let them see how we do things and get their feedback and have fun with the characters. And this first project that we have with the Supernatural Character Chronicles could not be a better element for it, because we all have like our own style of writing going into this one project, and it shows how dynamic we can be, and it shows like this insane potential behind every author, and it also shows how well we, I don't know, like the wit that kind of goes on behind the scenes, especially like when vampires attack you or skinwalkers pretend to be vampires, and then Cupid's all about the love, and then the wolves are like, sit chill, you know, it's just fun. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, you need to be in the Dynamis group. But, yeah. Morgan and I had talked about this for months, and one of the very first authors that we were like, we need, it was Lila Felix. Like, Lila, like how, and she kind of, you went with us too, and she's like, yeah, let's make it like this. So like, how do you, what's your take on the group? Like, when you came into it, like, how do you feel about it, girl? Like,
Actually, first of all, I miss all my little boxes. I feel like half of us is gone. Like we usually are filled up with boxes.
these are the people.
I think it's just great to have a group of authors that are, you know, not only share our passion for writing and for the readership, but to also have those differences and just be able to listen to each other and, hey, this is going to work, and no, this is going to work better, and it just works. It really just works, and so.
Well, and I was curious, Lila, where do you see it going? Because we've got one project that we've got out there for everyone to know about and start learning about what we're doing, but what maybe could you tell readers to look forward to?
Expect the unexpected. That's what I say. Because I've got my own little Dynamis journal now that, you know, I've got projects that, you know, 2 years down the road, like, hey, let's look at this, let's go this way, and, you know.
Yeah. Well, and as a group, I think all of us have a ton of ideas, which is a little scary, and why there are only 5 of us here, because when there are 10 of us on one call, it gets wacky wild. Like, we could probably...
last all day.
Yeah, it could be on one of those funniest home videos things. Like, they could totally put us all up there talking over each other, and screens, like, facing the ceiling at some point. Like, I don't even... I mean, it's just what happens. But,
that's just one plotting call.
And that's just one call. Yeah, that's only like 10 minutes of one call. But we're all working at the same time on one project, and we're all doing something different, but we're all doing something similar. And so I was going to ask Brenda, how are you doing with that? Like, what is it looking like? Like, what are you working on currently, other than some of the stuff that's singular? Like with Dynamis, what are you doing?
I had the privilege to put together all the covers for Dynamis, which was a scary and daunting task to please 10 ladies. I kind of put my fist on the table and said, this is what they're going to look like, so don't argue. But actually, everyone loved the covers. They thought they were fabulous. We tweaked some of the wording a little bit. It's difficult when you have someone like Rebecca Ethington, who has a super long name, and put her name on the cover in the same font and same size, and then you have the wonderful necromancer. which is like a billion letters. But we love Morgan anyway. And we were about this close to making you change that. But then what would it be? But yeah, I mean, and you know, my girls surprised me and sent me a beautiful bracelet as a thank you gift. So I just feel like our group is just full of so much love and support, and just, you know, writing can be a very lonely thing when you're doing it by yourself and you're stuck in your own story for a long time. And I just feel like this is a way for us to share with each other the same characters that we love, but do it in a project together, and it's just really exciting.
Mm-hmm. And I'm curious, Morgan, for you, because it is something like you're writing something completely different, at least I know that you are, from anything you've ever written before, because I'm in the same boat, but I'm loving it, and I'm curious, how are you doing with the writing and kind of implementing this project into what you're already working on?
Yeah, I'm loving it. I had wanted to do a project. My characters, I'm the necromancers, and I wanted to do a project similar to this, and just had something stirring in my mind for quite a while. But I figured, you know, it's just kind of on the back burner, because I do have some other projects going. But when this opportunity came up, and I was like, yeah, I'm there, and it's been fun. To be honest, I'm not that far into my story yet. I have it all plotted out, but the actual writing of it, I've been waiting to finish this other project that I'm doing. So for me, I'm trying to schedule and balance out, and that's kind of a newer thing for me, to have several things going at once. So that's been interesting, but it's fun. It's a fun project, and so I get excited about it. With Brenda's covers, they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna write this right now," because I was so excited about it. So I think it's just gonna be fun. So I'm not sure what else to say about that. Sorry.
No, I think it's awesome, and I think it's fun, and it's but one thing both of you kind of mentioned is the schedule. Like we getting these covers out, and then of course, like Morgan's saying, fitting things into the schedule. Because we all wanted to do this. Lila, I'm going to shoot this question to you, but only because you're in charge of our calendar. And you have been so good about keeping us on track. But maybe you can tell some of the people watching and some of the readers what to expect as far as the schedule is concerned, because that's something that's really unique to this.
Yeah, most serials or, you know, box sets or things, either they come out all at one time, or there's like a month between or 2 weeks between. Ours is really unique because it starts on October 26th, and then you get one every single Monday, all the way through November, all the way through December. So, you know, you're going to have like, 9 weeks of every single Monday getting a different story from Dynamis. So that's what makes, great. All you have to do is wait 6 days and you get another one.
Yeah. And it's and they're all the same genre, which I think is going to be really neat for especially those hardcore genre readers. And the thing that's cool, and Jamie, I want to ask you this, because when we were talking about what we were going to do, I think it was pretty much a consensus from everybody that we all like the idea of doing supernatural and paranormal. But I'd like for you to kind of talk about why we chose it, and then maybe even touch on why we chose new adult instead of young adult, because I think that that's something that's gonna be interesting to readers.
Okay, awesome. All right, so the supernatural, I think everybody in our Dynamis group is a fan of the Wicked. Like, we just like I even think Christy Cook posted about a show the other day and saying how weird it was, and I jumped right on it because I knew I'd love it. So, because we just like stuff like that. And every one of us, I think, has written in that we've kind of stretched our imagination to that point where you can kind of pull from a world or create your own world. So picking up the supernatural was almost a given, and then we looked at the schedule, and you had the Day of the Dead, New Orleans. I just kind of like that. None of those things were ever much in debate. It was just like magic. We knew it was all going to fit. When it came to the new adult, another great thing that's about this group is that we have a wide scale of heat that we write about, I guess you can say. We have some very, very, very clean authors, and we've had some authors that have ventured into the more steamier side of romance. And new adult is a great middle ground. It's still a confusing term, and I've run across readers who don't know what it is. But basically, new adult is where you take characters and they're at that stage between where there's parental supervision and there's not parental supervision, and they're trying to figure out who they are, and they're facing those issues that kind of hit them. And if you had a bunch of immortals or supernatural creatures running through New Orleans on the Day of the Dead, like new adults are kind of a good age, because 16, you know, being lost, or even if they were 16, I think it'd be okay. But when we chose to write new adult, we did discuss the steam level too, because these are all going to be grouped together. We wanted to make sure that, you know, somebody like Callie's readers wouldn't be offended, or be like, you know, it wouldn't be offensive if they read something that was a little hotter, but they still got the whole kind of story. So we just wanted to make sure that we had a good middle ground, and new adult, I feel like, does that because it's such a wide dynamic. The bottom line is it has to do with the age of the character, not so much of the steam, but it gives permission to kind of have new adult problems that can be faced in these little short novellas and kind of build onto other ones. But I don't know, it's fun. I think it's great how everything, it was never how easily the whole plot and the connection of this kind of fell into place. To get 10 people to be like, yeah, oh my God, yeah, that's perfect. Here, yes, do that. That's great. So
yeah. I've only heard good things, not even just within the 10 of us, but outside of our group, just people go, oh my gosh, New Orleans is such an awesome idea, you know, or, you know, supernatural is amazing, like to do all of those different races of supernatural creatures. But for some people that are watching this, they're kind of like, what are they talking about? Like, they've got a lot going on. So I was going to ask Morgan, I'm going to ask Morgan and Lila to tag team here. Morgan, if you'll explain what the project is as far as like what we're all writing about and how we're writing about it, and then Lila's going to just show a picture of what our box set looks like, I think, at the same time, so that people can kind of know what to look for. So, Morgan, why don't you go with kind of what, maybe tie in or tie up what the project really is?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, because we've each hinted on different parts of it and kind of what we're doing, but there, just to kind of summarize, there are 10 of us, and we each have chosen our own supernatural or paranormal race of being, and we are all centered in New Orleans, as we've said. So we have a common place and a common problem, that we are all writing our own stories with our characters, that they have to find a relic and bring it to a certain place because the veil is about to tear. We don't know what that means. We don't know what's going to happen when it does, but we know from our histories that we don't want it to happen. So that's kind of the gist of it. So we're each writing our own stories, and they will all tie together in the last book. So it's very important. You can read all the previous ones out of order, but the last one needs to remain the last one because that's what kind of ties everything together. I think that about covers it, does it?
Yeah. And Lila, will you like say something or make some noise so that your screen shows up?
Sure. I'm here. You see
there
it?
it is. Yeah. And
Talk
then
about it,
it went away. Okay, so one thing we've talked about is New Orleans, and this is like a huge city that is known for all of the, you know, supernatural activity. I can't wait to talk about this because Lila, you were just there, and I want to know all about it. I want to know why you think it is such a great choice, because I kind of agree, but tell everyone else why this is such a great choice for this series.
First, it's a great choice because I'm only about 45 minutes away, so I can go anytime I want and just plot. So, no, but you know, New Orleans is such a big city, and I think just when you think you know what it's about and all its secrets, you know, it hands you a box that says you think you know, but you don't. And you know, I've been down there countless times and taken all the tours and seen all the things, and I hadn't even hit half of it. So, and you know, even if you hit most of it, you probably don't have any idea what's going on in between, you know, the alleys and all that darkness. So, I'm
looking forward to reading everyone's stories, and then also like some things I'm incorporating into mine as far as like sightings. You know, like it's kind of one of those when you're walking around, and I've been to New Orleans, I have family that lives there. Like you're walking around and you're like, is that a witch? Like that could really be a witch right over there. Like, you know, you don't know. You don't know. So there are things like that all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Brenda, I have to ask you, one of the things that is all over that box set and all over our covers is this really cool symbol. And we kind of wanted to let everyone know what that's all about, what it means, why it's there, and now it's your turn. Go.
So when we were all talking about how we wanted to do everything and put everything together, is my thing working? Okay. We were talking about, you know, the relics that we wanted to bring, and we thought it would be cool if it was made like a puzzle. It came together, and so we obviously had to work together to pick the symbol that we wanted to be on there that stood for Dynamis, and then I don't know, I cut it apart and made it, you know, with my fancy schmancy skills, and made it into a puzzle with 9 different pieces. So if you look on each of our covers, you will see who brings what puzzle piece into the I don't know, the symbol on each cover. And then at the end, it makes a full, I don't know, somebody help me out.
Well, we don't want to give too much away, but it makes something.
It does, okay.
Yes. And I'm really curious, because Jamie, I think that you should touch on this. What is that big OS? Like, what is that big OS with an arrow? Because we all were together when we were looking for this thing, but I think you should have to tell everybody what it is.
Oh my God, I'm on the spot now. Like it stands for what Dynamis means, which is untapped power, that magic, that. Ooh, I gotta go read the banner because that is exactly what it means. Our blurb.
It's right there. I put it up, Jamie. Can you see it?
Yeah.
I was trolling. I got to. It's like the unsort. This is exactly what it says. The unseen force within. It's something that, like, I was actually writing a book that had a lot to do with Greeks at the time that I was coming up with Dynamis, which is why this. I was all like, they had this power that they pulled from, and I lost it. Okay, but basically, like that symbol stands for what our group is, and it has like that power. It's vital, vigorous, and it's very positive. Positive is probably something you probably picked up on this call, but it's a positive energy that you pull from, and more importantly, it's magnetic because you want to draw people to you and draw people in. And I feel like that symbol represents Dynamis. And this first project out the door is just like, it's just the first taste of like the fun things that you would see these authors come up with together and on their own. Like I get a sneak peek into everyone's little, you know, writing projects, and I get to drool way before everyone else, and I get really excited. And I don't know, this is just a great group of people all around. And the Supernatural Chronicles is just, it's going to be a fun launch, and it's just one, like, I just can't wait because I know all the ideas that we have on deck. So I don't want to give anything away because we need to be talking about Dynamis and the Supernatural Chronicles. But that symbol is something that you should see on anything that you see us do as a group, any kind of time that we're working out with our other author buddies. And you just need to know that it means it's positive, powerful energy, and we're just drawing all the goodness that we can to us. That's our good mojo sign.
Yeah. Well, and I'm curious. When it comes to what we're writing, because we've talked about, we're all talking about different creatures or characters that we're writing in the story, and we're trying to, you know, tie them all together. But one thing that's really interesting about this is that it's probably, I'm going to just throw this out there, not going to be this one-time thing. I mean, as far as what we've all agreed to and are looking forward to, it's taking it past even this release, this season, and doing more with it later. So readers can go into it knowing that this is something they can look forward to and look forward to more later. Do I have a consensus there on this one?
Absolutely.
There's definitely, and I think some of the authors in the group are using, you know, known characters. The readers that their characters will know. They're using characters that readers will know, but a new reader would not have to know. So that's an interesting concept too. So it doesn't matter if you follow your reader or not. And then there's authors that are inventing brand new characters for this. But either way, the way the storyline is set up is so that it can continue. So, you know, Dynamis is in New Orleans right now. Who's to say what's going to happen next? And who's to say what characters that we're going to bring forward? It's going to really just depend on how much fun we have, and we're going to have a blast. I'm already having a blast, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm looking forward to. got an entirely new cast of characters I'm working with, and it is so inspiring. Like, I can't wait to write more. And I know, Brenda, you're someone that's using characters from a previously written series, correct?
Correct.
And how is that working for you? Is that something readers are going to really love to dig into?
Well, yes, I think the readers who have enjoyed the Talisman series are really going to get into it, and they're going to enjoy visiting my characters again, Julia and Nicholas and Phil, the crazy Phil, and all of his antics. And but it'll be, I think my book at least is going to be more fun in games, and it's going to be good. But it's fun when you already have characters that are developed, and then you just kind of throw them in a situation and see what they do. And so yeah.
Well, and so as far as new readers, how are they going to feel jumping into this? Like, I think that's an interesting twist that Jamie mentioned, is that someone that's never read any of your work before can pick this up and maybe find a new series that they love.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave anybody hanging. I mean, I'm going to definitely introduce them, and people will get to know who they are and where they came, and it might be a little spoilery for the series prior, but whatever. I mean, it's all good, and I just spoiled the other series, so now you know everything.
It just means, we're getting out the news before they get there, and that's not always a bad thing. So, okay, I'm trying to figure out, do we have, like, any other questions, any other things you guys can think of as far as what it is about Dynamis that really has hit you? Because for me, I honestly could talk for the next 4 or 5 minutes that we have about our process, but in how it all has really come together. But as far as readers are concerned, I really want to know, and maybe Morgan, you can answer this, because it's something that we've been connecting in this dynamic readers group, and I'd love for you to maybe lead into, and maybe everyone else can kind of add their 2 cents about what this group is about, because it's on Facebook, and it's not just us as authors talking, but it's us talking to readers. And how is that impacting your everyday?
Okay. Yeah, like Kelly said, we have on Facebook a group. Go there. It's super fun and exciting. It's called Dynamis Dynamic Readers. Is that what it's called? That's a tongue twister. Yeah, and it's we've got a good group of people in there. We are in there. We're chatting. It's all for the readers to ask questions. We're putting up teasers and fun little memes and just playing games. We've been doing some giveaways. We just want it to be a fun place where we can interact with the readers, and also that they can come and find out what our project's all about. They can sign up for our newsletters. They can just join the party. It's just a party all the time. So it's been fun, because every once in a while I get notifications on my phone or my emails. I'm like, oh, so-and-so's posted something in there, and so I'll go and join in, and it's just been fun. So I highly encourage you, if you're interested in our series or even just as us as authors, this is a place where you as readers can interact with us on a personal level and just have fun and chat, and it's all good.
Yeah. How Lila, I know that you've been really involved in there, and each of us has, as far as like interacting with everybody. But I'd like to know, Lila, how has it been as far as the maybe the camaraderie? That's the best way to put it, because I know that there are some people that are in our group that they just like to pick fights, and I'd love to know about the fun.
Brenda, tires. Brenda, oosh.
Not me.
Lila, how do you handle this?
It's all fun, and they can say whatever they want to. They can say, oh, it's the vampires, oh, it's the witches, because it could always be my people pretending to be a witch. They don't know, and I just sit back and kind of watch them go at it, because it might be me.
I think it's hilarious, because one thing that I love about the Dynamis group is that readers are like people that are drawn to each other anyways, because not everybody can fall in love with a book or fall in love with another world. And when you're on a social network, you kind of want to flock to people who have that same passion. And sometimes when you get into these groups on Facebook, it becomes more like of an ad page or real spammy, and this thing's been thrown up, or this thing's been thrown up, or there's this crazy like takeovers, or oh my God, they're trying to sell some sunglasses, something like that's going on in a group. But this group is not like that. Like, it's just a fun place that you can kind of go in there, and with 10 different authors, there's a lot of authors that are like, adminning the pages, but you're not going to see us, you're just not going to be forced to buy or sell. You're just going to have fun. And what's really great is, like, if Brenda decides that she's going to yank my chain or rattle my cage, and I have the most awesome witty comeback ever, then I get all these likes because they know that I'm way better than a vampire. But that's my point on it.
I will say that our group has the best beams ever. Like, and it's not even us; it's the readers. Like, they come up with the best stuff ever. Like, it's so fun.
Delphina's dragons, like, eating everybody. That just makes my day every time.
Yeah.
She posted one today that was dragons make bacon the fastest or something. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
I think the wolves are being just a little bit too quiet. Like, I was all like looking at an alliance, but like I'm just thinking, someone that quiet, something's plotting. Something's plotting.
But I have secretly apologized to people when I've gotten a little mouthy.
Yeah.
Saying, I'm so sorry. I really don't want to be.
Brenda, that's not you. That's the vampires, right?
No, they totally know we're playing. They know we don't hate. Or they know we love to hate.
No, but sometimes it's like I'm teasing, but I don't want them to think this is real, and I say something.
But see, then that's when Lila pops in and says it was the Skinwalkers the whole time.
Yep. Well, for those people that are watching, this is kind of what it's like. I mean, just us even bantering back and forth about, what we're writing and our characters. This is what it's like on that group. And hopefully that'll transition into some other social media, like maybe Twitter or Instagram. I know that a couple of us have been posting on those social medias as well.
Well,
go ahead.
I was just going to add to that if anyone was interested, they can always search our hashtag is Dynamis, and you can look up all of our posts on Instagram or on Facebook or Twitter, wherever we are. You can see what we're posting there, and then join the fun or follow along, and all good.
Well, and we've come to the end of our half hour. We're actually over because I told you guys this half hour will go by like that. But before we go, I also want to bring up we've got another hangout coming out next month on October 22nd. It's another Thursday. We haven't decided on the time yet because we've been talking about including some of our UK readers. But then we also have all of our pre-orders up for these novellas. And so if anybody's interested in looking those up, they're all up there ready for you guys to pre-order so you can have them the day they come out. So with that, is there anything else you guys want to add?
Maybe just on our Google page, we'll add those kind of links for the readers group, and so people can find them from there.
Yeah, that and on YouTube, definitely.
Yeah.
And what do people do if they have questions and they weren't able to make the chat?
Use that hashtag, that Dynamis hashtag, and I think it's just easy because all of us are on there using that hashtag, and we can pick up and answer your questions. But you can also find each of us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. Jamie Magee is at the Jamie Magee. Brenda, you're at Brenda Pandos. Morgan, you're at Wylie Books, and Lila is at author Lila Felix, and I'm at Kallie Ross. And I'm happy to answer a question anytime I get one.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, then I guess we'll just wrap this up and tell everyone goodbye. See you later.
See ya.
By the way, hashtag Cupid's rule.
Oh,
Bye, you guys.
Bye.